Imagine working in peace for 4 years, building a schedule that finally keeps you sane, only for a group of coworkers to decide that your happiness is offensive. That's what happened to me. They wanted me trapped in their misery. But they forgot one thing. I don't back down quietly. If you've ever had toxic coworkers who couldn't stand seeing you a little happier than them, hit that like button, subscribe, and get ready. Because this is one of the most delicious workplace revenge tales you'll ever hear. For years, I had worked a schedule that actually made my life bearable. My office allowed flex time, meaning we could choose our hours, as long as we were in during core time. 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. That was perfect for me, because I lived far away. The traffic was brutal, so, with permission, I came in at 8 a.m. and left at 4 p.m. It was a win-win. I avoided the rush hour nightmare, and my department always had phone coverage. I'd been working like this for 4 years. No one complained, no one cared, until I switched departments. At first, I thought things would be fine. My new team seemed normal enough, chatty, friendly, all smiles on day one. But I quickly learned something ugly. In their eyes, leaving at 4 p.m. was a crime. They didn't care that I'd been doing it for years. They didn't care that I started earlier than everyone else. All they saw was me walking out that door while they stayed. And to them, that wasn't fair. They started complaining to the manager. Not once, not twice, constantly. It became an obsession. Why does Op get to leave early? If the rest of us are here until 5, why isn't she? It doesn't matter if she starts earlier. We all need to be a team. It was ridiculous. The manager's dilemma. My manager, bless him, actually tried to reason with them. He offered solutions. You can leave early too, if you want. We can set up a rota. Or if you prefer, everyone can pick their own flex hours. It doesn't matter as long as coverage is met. But no, that wasn't good enough. They didn't want to leave early. They wanted me to suffer with them. They wanted me chained to the same schedule. My manager, exhausted, came to me one afternoon and sighed, "I've tried everything. They just won't back down. They want you here 9 to 5, no exceptions." I was stunned, furious. But then he said something that made me pause. And suddenly, I smiled. The plan forms. My manager gave me a piece of information that completely flipped the situation. Something the others didn't know. So I leaned in and said, "Can you just hold them off for 2 weeks? Don't give in yet. I have a plan." And oh, did I. The meeting, the trap springs. 2 weeks later, we had a department meeting about working hours. The room was already tense. My coworkers wasted no time airing their grievances, voices sharp and dramatic. "It's not fair. She's the only one leaving early. We should all be here together as a team." I stayed quiet. I let them dig their own grave. I even threw in a few little comments to fan the flames. Then, when the tension peaked, I finally spoke. "You know what? You're right." Every head whipped toward me. "I can see why this bothers you. If it'll make things better for the team, I'll give up my 8 to 4 schedule. I'll work 9 to 5 like everyone else." Gasps. Smiles. Nods of approval. They thought they'd won. Then I added, "Actually, since the issue is that I'm the only one on a different schedule, why don't we all work 9 to 5? As a team. Together." Their smiles froze. The manager, barely suppressing a grin, said, "Brilliant idea. That's a fair solution. Effective immediately, no more flex time in this department. Everyone works 9 to 5. Silence. Dead silence. The consequences hit. And just like that, my coworkers had trapped themselves. First, there was the phone coverage. See, before, I'd been covering the early shift alone from 8 to 9. The phones were always busy then. Now, that responsibility would fall on them. "Oh, and one more thing," I piped up sweetly. "Since I won't be here at 8 anymore, I won't have time to process payments first thing in the morning. I'm sure you'll all be able to handle that work instead." Their faces? Priceless. But it got worse for them. The perfect timing. You see, this all happened during a massive worldwide sporting event. Games were being played overseas, which meant matches aired in the mornings. My coworkers, massive fans, loved watching the games before heading into the office at 10. But now? Nope. They had to be in by 9. And lunch breaks? They used to take extended lunches to watch the games broadcast at noon. But now that I wasn't covering phones through lunch anymore, they had exactly 1 hour. Their precious sports watching parties? Crushed. The final blow. Sweet relocation. And remember that little secret my manager told me weeks before? The entire office was relocating to a building much closer to my home. So while they were forced into a stricter schedule they hated, I actually benefited. I could walk to work, save time, save money, and laugh all the way. When the new rules kicked in, the looks on their faces were everything I'd hoped for. They wanted me miserable, but they ended up sabotaging themselves. Early mornings, no extended lunches, more work, less fun. And me? I just sat back, walked to work, and smiled. Sometimes, revenge doesn't need shouting or screaming. Sometimes, you just give people exactly what they ask for, and watch them choke on it. It's funny how jealousy works. People don't always want fairness. Sometimes, they just want you to be as unhappy as they are. But karma? Karma has a way of turning their own demands into the rope they hang themselves with. If this story gave you chills, smash that like button. Tell me in the comments, what's the pettiest or most satisfying workplace revenge you've ever seen? And of course, subscribe for more stories like this, because trust me, there are plenty more where this came from.